Hey, welcome. Today we're diving into something huge that's happening in the business world. We're talking about a massive shift in how companies are looking at environmental responsibility, how it's going from being this annoying cost to a secret weapon for innovation and, yeah, profit.
For decades, this was the big question in every boardroom. Do we go for profit or do we do right by the planet? And the assumption was always you can't have both. But what if that whole idea is just wrong? What if it's totally outdated?
And this really breaks down that massive shift in thinking. The old way, it was all about sustainability being a drag, a cost center, a regulatory headache you just had to deal with. But the new way, it completely flips the script. Now, being green is actually a source of value. It's an engine for new ideas, and it's a real measurable competitive advantage.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. How does this actually work? Let's start with the really smart stuff, how companies are turning something like cutting carbon into a straight-up financial strategy.
This is really the heart of it. Instead of just thinking about cutting emissions to hit some target, the leading companies are using it as a chance to completely re-engineer their businesses to be more efficient. It's not about subtraction anymore. It's about making smart additions to the bottom line.
Okay, so it all sounds great on paper, right? But talk is cheap. Does treating decarbonization like a financial engine actually put real money back in a company's pocket?
Oh yeah, it does. Big time. Just look at this number. $7.3 million. And that's not some pie-in-the-sky projection. That is a real-world result. So where did that huge number come from? Well, that's the annual savings a global auto parts maker locked in just from an energy savings program. This wasn't some little side project. It was a core business move, and it proves, without a doubt, that sustainable practices can be fantastic for business.
Okay, so that's a huge win for one project, but this is bigger than that. We're talking about entire companies, absolute giants in their industries, pivoting their whole future around sustainability.
I mean, take a company like Unilever. You've probably got their products in your house right now. They've set this incredibly bold goal, net zero emissions by 2039. And they aren't just talking about it. Get this, they've already shifted all of their global operations to 100% renewable energy. Done.
And it's not just about their power sources. It's about their products, right down to the packaging. They've got this awesome, simple mantra: less plastic, better plastic. And that simple idea guides their entire strategy for something we see every day.
But, a mantra is just words if you don't back it up. And they are. By 2025, they are committed to drastically cutting their use of brand new plastics. And here's the kicker. They're making sure every single piece of their packaging can be reused, recycled, or composted. It becomes part of a cycle, not just trash.
Okay, hold on a sec. Before we jump to the next example, we need to quickly talk about something called a venture building firm. It might sound complicated, but it's not. Just think of it like a startup factory, a company whose whole job is to create other new businesses from scratch.
And that's exactly why this company, Striber, is such a cool example. Because they build new companies from the ground up, they were able to hit net zero super fast. How? By making sustainability a non-negotiable part of every new venture's DNA right from day one. It wasn't an add-on, it was baked right into the recipe.
All right, so we've covered the money and the big corporate promises. Now let's get to the really cool stuff, the actual physical innovations that are literally building a more sustainable world.
So when you think of the cloud, you think of something invisible, right? But all that data, it has to live somewhere. And that somewhere is in these massive energy-guzzling data centers. But check this out. Microsoft is totally flipping the script on how these things are even built.
So instead of the usual suspects, steel and concrete, which have a massive carbon footprint, they built a data center out of wood. Yeah, you heard me, wood. And it's not just for looks. This one change is estimated to slash the embodied carbon, that's basically all the pollution from making the materials and building the thing, by a staggering 35 to 65%. That is a total game changer.
And you better believe Microsoft isn't the only one making these big moves. This is a full-on race. You've got the other heavyweights, Amazon and Google, and they are all scrambling to lock down clean energy. They're signing these massive deals for nuclear and renewable power because they know that clean, reliable energy is absolutely critical to their future growth.
So, when you put all these pieces together, what do you get? It's pretty clear, isn't it? We're looking at a whole new definition of the bottom line, one where making a profit and protecting the planet aren't just compatible, they're actually one and the same.
And if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. It just nails it.
We are so far past the days of just checking a box for compliance. The smartest companies now get it. Being environmentally responsible is a core strategy for building a stronger, more innovative, and a more profitable business for years to come.
So that leaves us with one final and pretty intense question. It's not if sustainability is going to be the new standard for competition. It already is. The real question is who's going to lead the pack and who's going to be left in the dust clinging to an old way of thinking. Thanks for tuning in.